Welcome back, everybody. I'm Blockchain Crusader. We're going to be crusading through these blockchains with our boy CVO. What is going on, Paul? What is going on, man? How you been doing?
Good, man. How are you? How's everybody out there doing?
Man, hopefully everybody's been hanging on tight because it's been a bumpy ride lately. Let me tell you, it's been a bumpy ride in these markets. People are expecting new all-time highs, and people get very disappointed when it doesn't happen that quick. But we
Yeah.
can't go up and to the right as always. So Bitcoin has had a retracement here. Let's do a quick little screen share here and just look at what is happening with the overall markets.
Yep.
Let me see here. Where's my freaking window? Here it is. Screen, bam, wham. Here it is. Come on, load up. You guys can see Bitcoin total market cap here. Let me see. Quick little refresh. Down 0.3%. Not even a full percent today. Down. Bitcoin sitting at 65,600 right now. Overall, not looking that great, but not that bad either. I mean, it's pretty much flat today. Yesterday was the big dump. Everybody started freaking out. We jump on over here to the crypto bubbles. Jump
Damn.
on here on the 1 hour, dude.
You got
This thing just
core, man.
percent. No, this is the monthly.
I was just saying, is that 1 hour, man? WIF is up 100. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay. This is more realistic here. This is more realistic. On the 1 hour, NIR's up 7 point on the day. Actually, I'm sorry. On the day, NIR's up 7.5%. ENA. We're gonna be talking about this one here in a little bit. ENA is a new one that just came onto the scene. Got a little whiff of the what you call it, Terra Luna from the previous cycle. So very interesting.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, very similar to what Terra was doing before, but with a bigger twist. Whoa, what was that?
I saw that a second ago. Somebody was talking about that. What is that project? You know anything about it?
I don't know, but it just came out. This OIN thing just came out today. Got listed.
T Shroom, I put it on Twitter. It was like up like 5 million%, I guess, like an hour ago.
This thing. Look at this thing. Just
$538. Wow.
Yeah, just bam. What's the
17 billion?
$17 billion market cap just instantly launched here out of nowhere, out of $538. This is the thing that happens, bro. And then it just instantly crash because these valuations are way too crazy. I mean,
that's crazy, dude. That's got ICP vibes.
That I'm about to say, dude. What's the freaking circulating supply on this thing? 5 coins. Circulating supply 32 million. Total supply 100 million. OIN finance. Let's jump into the website here real quick. A little bit of a detour from what we were going to originally talk about, but if
that's
wild, like this pops up, we got to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
A robust turnkey stablecoin issuance platform built for the multi-chain universe. Uh-oh. Staking plus mining, multi-chain decentralized stablecoin issuance platform. This seems very similar to what Athena is doing, not in the same terminology, but stablecoins and issuance and APY, they have zero locked total, zero value locked in it. It literally just must have come out. So another one that's giving us, the vibes from Terra Luna. Very interesting that both these projects come back to back. ENA yesterday, this thing today. Interesting here in the markets overall. So man, Bitcoin's pulled back, right? We had a Bitcoin pullback. We were sitting well above here. Oh, let's see. Let me jump in here. Let me check out the chat real quick. Somebody in the chat says, "Quick question: is it still possible to pay to learn how to chart? Been doing good on finding projects. Bad at charting though." Yes, Marcus. This is the guy. This is the man, the myth, the legend himself. This is why I brought him on the show today, so we can talk. He can show you guys some of his skills, so you guys know what you're getting when you sign up for his service. So I'll drop the link is in the description of the video. You'll jump into my link tree, and it's the first thing. It says verified investing. Click on that. It should take you directly over to the service, and you can sign up there.
You're too kind, man. You're too kind. No legend here.
You gotta give credit where credit's due, dude. So pull up your chart. Pull up your chart. Show us Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a pullback. Looks like a little mini double top here situation with 73,000, then a lower high at 71,000 before dropping back down. What do you got to tell the people here?
So there you go. Perfect. A couple of things, right? So just kind of looking at local price action here, right? One key level that I've been looking for to kind of see if we're going to get any upside at the moment is our last week's low. And I'll kind of go over like the drop here in a second, but just kind of some short-term stuff, right? Came into a gold pocket area here that I'll show you where that's derived from. Basically just kind of, banging into that previous week low. Locally, I think we, still have a shot. It's still kind of coming back up. I am anticipating another run up, at least back to this previous all-time high. Maybe when we go back to these highs once again, right? So, a couple things that can change in some areas we want to be aware of as we kind of go on here. But yeah, to kind of touch on what you were looking at there, right? Where essentially now we've got this high coming in here at the 73,000, and we got a potential lower high here, right? Which is not amazing, in the sense of a potential trend change. We were closing and living above that previous all-time high from 2021 for quite a while. We had our dailies really coming in here towards the end of the month. We closed the weekly, the monthly, the quarterly, all the things, right? And on top of that, so we had the highest high time frame closure ever on Bitcoin. And then essentially at the start of this month, start of this week, we just kind of took a little tumble. And it's not a huge drop at the end of the day. This is like 10%, right? It's not really the end of the world, 9.5% so far. The thing is that this could turn into something down the road here. But when looking at this in the sense of just a couple of technical areas, right? Like I said, got a local gold pocket that I'm kind of highlighting right here, right? So that's pulled from this swing low basically to the high. So we've just basically retraced this little last leg up here to the 61.8 to the 65% area here, right, known as the golden pocket. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of turn that off for now. And another thing is that we started a new month, right? So when looking at range data based on volume, we can actually start to use the March range now that it's basically set in stone. And you can see here we just essentially we ran up. We literally kissed the high of the range here on March back on basically the 27th, right before the end of the month. Kind of just coasted around up near the high, opened up the week, the month, everything up in this region here, and then we just rotated down. So essentially, we just, at the end of the day, you're just simply still just really range bound in this region. I point this out because it does give it a little bit more of just credence, I guess, because where we do have a lower high coming in here, you still have the higher lows kind of put into play too. So for me, it's really just kind of paying attention to the levels. If we start to lose the March low, basically, we now have a new quarterly average of price down below us at 61,300. That'll be something just to kind of be aware of. But at the moment, it really is that we've just kind of cycled. We are at support at the moment. I am looking to see if we actually run this back up. We've got just local gold pocket from that high to low right now. You can see how that lines up once again. There's literally been 10 trades off of that previous all-time high. And it's the number one, even I refer to it as the line in the sand, and everybody gets really wrapped up emotionally when we are living above it and when we come back below it. When we live it above it and we come back below it, it's something that we've never seen in the past. Everybody gets really wrapped up in what happened in 2020's, bull cycle, or what happened in 2017. And anytime we start living above it, it's I think everybody kind of jumps the gun thinking it's a guarantee we're going straight to 100. But at the end of the day, Bitcoin just ranges more than anything, especially after these large moves here. So really just range bound at the end of the day, I guess, is a really winded example of that. I'm sure many are possibly looking at this even as a triangle, if I had to imagine, right? You kind of got your, just a real quick whip here. And same kind of idea set here, right? If we get a little pump here in the next day or so, and you kind of go back up to the high of this, right into that previous all-time high, into that gold pocket area, maybe when we push back up into that week open, month open area as well, shouldn't really be a huge shock there. So for me, it's just kind of trading it as it comes at the moment, and definitely still anticipating, or being heavily aware that we have left so many things below us that it is possible to get that big move down still, right? So so far that could be in play. We probably want to see this recent low get taken out and basically start forming that actual downtrend, because so far we have not, right? Like I said, you still have higher lows even though you do have a lower high, but coming down and actually taking out these lows, that's probably where things will start to look a little bit more like we're going to get a little bit bigger of a pullback. I've highlighted this macro 382 for quite a while, right? And this is actually just pulled off of the overall $15,000 low. I'll zoom it out a little bit for you. right? So if you were to, let's go ahead and do it fresh, nice fib retracement tool, just take it from the low up to the current high, and make sure you got 382 on there. I bring up the 382 because it's just, generally when you have a really strong uptrend, you don't always make it back down in the gold pocket. You'll tend to see, a pullback to the 382 Fibonacci, which is basically a 38% retracement of a certain area. And that does come in with a volume target, basically stacked right on top of it, like 51,800, give or take in that region. So if we start to lose this region, I still do target down to like that area, and then we'll see how things kind of play out if we get there.
So what are you seeing for the upside for Bitcoin? What does Bitcoin need to cross? Do we need to make a new local high here, take out that lower high for a market structure change to start saying,
Yeah,
"Hey, we're moving to the upside here"?
pretty simply, man. I mean, it's obviously we'd want to see some more, living above that previous all-time highs, kind of like a little line, a green flag to some degree. But at this point, we're so close to just that the new high at this level. Just living above that on a daily basis, and then it's pretty, you know, the levels above us are pretty simple in my opinion. It's 80 to 85, and then pretty much you got 100. I know you could break it down, and there is essentially a little trend based gold pocket right at like 75. But yeah, I mean, getting a real nice break and hold above that. I mean, I'm sure we will see something like we did in 2021 or 2020, where you actually get that big decent breakout. Probably wouldn't be all in one shot, but um, yeah, that's pretty simply put. But it's the chop right here, right? Because it's really interesting too, because anyone that was like sideline, everybody brings up that like a lot of people were either sidelined, or they cashed out early, or they did this or they did that. They anticipated the 50K was going to be a big area, where we got a decent pullback at 50K, which was what, like back in like January, right? So like when you got this little move right there, a little pullback here, which also was a pullback to the 382, right? So like when you're looking at these strong uptrends, that was just a 382 retracement, continued up. But when we broke that all-time high, the back here in this region back in March, basically, I feel like it was a time where everybody was just like really filing in. And maybe I'm wrong. I guess like I looked around, and like it was really really FOMO-y at that point, where it's like it was a guarantee to go to 100K. And like for me, I do think that 80 to 100 is coming. Um, but if I was to be like on the sideline to some degree, or say I took profits on the way up, or I, did anything, right, where it's just like you got cash on the side right now. I personally am still looking for a decent pullback here, right? So it's one of those things where you have to be able to change that and adapt to it if it does, like, start running away on us. But ideally, we will get a pullback probably to like this 52-ish K area, and that's where you kind of can like start scaling, like the altcoins at that time, if you get it. It's big ifs, right? We're just analyzing data here, and it's one of those things where you get new data every single day, right? I just showed you that March range, right? The March range just closed off. We obviously had a nice level to work off of. You did not have that 2 weeks ago, or a month ago, right? So it is one of those things where that's not the sexiest answer that most people don't want to hear. Is like, they want to know, like, where is this going 100%? And if anybody knew, they wouldn't be talking about it, right? So all we're doing is breaking down the possibilities here, and reacting to those as they come to us, right? So but yeah, I mean, I'm still anticipating a big pullback. I actually ended up selling a good amount of Ethereum that I accumulated at $1,200 at 3280, right? And I was on the way up to the 4,000 whatever we topped at, right? So it's like one of those things where, like, I sold 75% of my ETH allocation, anticipating a pullback to potentially like 2K. And it was just one of those times where, like, the market was still going up. Obviously, we're pretty much sitting at that level now. So it's like, okay, whatever, I could just jump back in. But for a hot week and a half, I had to, if it was like something that was going to bother me, most people probably got bothered by something like that. They might have even jumped back in at higher levels. And then now we're sitting back at these levels. And it's just one of those times where, yeah, I just think we're just ranging at
Yeah,
the end
dude,
of the day.
I agree that the 55,000 level is something that I have been looking at as well, right? For different reasons, and I'll pull up my chart here for a second and kind of just go over that with you as well, because I have learned the TA that I do know, guys. I said this is the guy that I've learned it from, right? But obviously, he's got a lot more depth knowledge than I do on certain things. So my levels are I arrived to my levels for different reasons. So if we jump over here to my Bitcoin chart, let me share my screen here. Come on. right? Don't mind my little inverse head and shoulders situation over here. So we were up here above the previous 2021 all-time high, right? Created a little bit of a Bart Simpson here on the daily, dumped it back down, found support here at currently at 65, 65, 331. And then the range right below it is this blue zone. This blue zone is what I've been looking at. We've come down here multiple times. Let me get rid of these things. So we come down here two times already, where we came down here back in March 5th and we had that dump all the way down to 59, right? 59, 50, yeah, 59 some change. We worked all the way back up to 63, and then we had the big blast off move to 73. Then when we broke down again, we came all the way down to this 61,000. We worked a little bit below, and then we kind of just been going sideways back up, and then we're coming back down again. The value area high is this 63, 62,000 area right here. Then there's a point of control right here at 61. We've tapped to both these levels two times already. They've held that support, but this is the last line of defense for me. If we lose 61 and actually close below it, then I'm looking for the value area low of this range, which is sits at 55,167. And as you guys can see here in the past, we just printed three green candles whoop, right through it. Never came back and retested this value area low. Not that we have to, but there's just no real volume here just yet. It's just kind of just whoop, just flew right to the top of the point of control, ranged up here for 3 days or 4 days before moving up higher. So if I see us losing 61,000 and closing below it, I am going to be targeting 55,000. Obviously, your TA showed a lot more different reasons and pivots and weekly levels and targets on why to go there. Mine's a lot more simple, like way of seeing it, because I don't keep up with all the pivots, dude. I don't know how you do that. So many pivots all over the place.
I know, yeah. Honestly, it's there's so many things that you could like. At the end of the day, it's like you just have to like kind of keep track of what's most relevant for the time being. Like, I think that's something that most people get actually really wrapped up in, is when they're trying to, build a chart or do anything like that. You'll see a lot, like, when you're looking at my chart, it looks maybe a little bit busy right now, but it's like there's no indicators as far as like RSI or any kind of additional things there. It's, I try to keep it as clean as possible. It's organized off to the right, and it's just kind of what is most relevant right now. If I was to click on like literally every key level that I would consider like on right now, it'd just be bombardment across the board. So and it's just kind of another aspect of like looking at the charts and like just kind of following it as it's unfolding, and being able to like just kind of allocate or identify just key regions that's going to give you like an edge in the market, right? To be reacting to, essentially. So
I just want to bring this up here real quick. So there's people asking in the chat about how to sign up, right? This is it where it's at. Verified investing is where it's at. This is the course that Paul CVO, the guy right here talking, showing you the charts, has created, right? And a it's not just a course. It's also a service where you get trade signal alerts, right? You get chart analysis, entries, targets, fundamental analysis, technical range data, right? Day trades, swing trades, long-term setups. The guy is posting 5, 6, 7, 8 different charts every like 6 hours in that group, right? Posting up different setups or whatever, and it's $100 a month, which is basically $3 a day, guys. It's $3 a day, and you're getting at least 6 charts posted. So each chart is costing you less than $1. It's costing you 50 cents a chart to be looking at some different trades and learning from the trade volume, the range trading that Paul CVO here does. So if you guys haven't looked at that, the link is down below. If you're watching on YouTube, the link is down below in the description. Go into my link tree where you see verified investing. Click on there. If you're on TikTok, go to my bio, click right over here, go to my bio, and you'll see the link tree link as well. Verified investing, hit it, and it'll take you right here. Add to your cart and sign up. The best thing to do is to invest in yourself. If you're not investing in yourself, you're not going to learn here. You're not going to level up in crypto, right? There's only so much you can do with just dollar cost averaging. I've done dollar cost averaging for a very long time, but being able to jump into the charts and look at some targets has helped me just on my dollar cost averaging. Not even saying, hey, well, now I'm a trader. I'm a full-on trader here. No. Just on my dollar cost averaging, I'm looking at targets. I'm charting out the thing, and I'm like, I'm probably going to wait for this next level here, and then I'll start picking up some dollar cost averaging positions. So even as something as simple as that, just learning how to chart can really change up your game to be a long-term investor. All right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I just want to touch on a comment here because I saw somebody bring it up. It's so funny because I've been doing this for years at this point, but somebody brought it was like, I was at the guy that was looking for 300K back in 2021. And at the time, I actually was targeting 250, right? $250,000 Bitcoin. Everything at the, that I was looking at that level was kind of unfolding in that fashion. However, I was able to identify that I was wrong about that on December
Early on
1st.
too.
It was
Early on.
it was a little tough one, right? Because it was like, yeah, that literally hung my hat on the like 250K, right? And I based a lot of that off of what I experienced in 2017, right? So I've been, in the market from January of 2017, as far as like actively investing in these cryptos, every single day. And that was, in my opinion, I don't know how the 2013 go around was, but that was probably the most. I know everybody likes to say this will be the most epic bull run, or this will be. 2017 was the most epic bull run. We saw the most incredible things happen, but the market cap was so low, right? And that's really what kind of
Yeah.
was different at the time, right? It was like even at the height, it was only $800 million in the market, which included a $20,000 Bitcoin. So yeah, I was actually targeting 200 250K as like the high of like Bitcoin, and murdered the altcoins for the like pretty much the whole bull run, right? Problem was is that when I got to the point where it was on December 1st, we had closed the monthly basically back below the all-time high, and I was just like, all right, you know what? Um, I think I might be wrong on this, right? So I made a video coming out. I was like, maybe this is an extended cycle. Who knows? But at this point, like I can't say, because it was like I was targeting for like January of 2022. Obviously, we topped in November. Didn't really get the full effect of like the topping until like but probably about December. But December 1, we were still at $60,000 Bitcoin from the initial 69. So problem was though everybody was down, even though everyone was so up. We got a 30% pullback in Bitcoin or whatever it was, 15, I guess, going from 69 to 60. Obviously, the altcoins took a huge tumble at the time. Small caps, right, which are like the equivalent of all these Solana memes right now and all this. Like everybody gets so wrapped up into those because they see them running for 3-4 weeks. And of course, the majority jump in on the 5th week when the 7th week is when it all like the music stops. But anyways,
The funny
obviously
part,
I had to come to that conclusion, and most people were not able to, I think, adapt to it, right? So
yeah,
like,
a lot
but
of people
yes.
don't like admitting that they're wrong, bro. A lot of people, just stick to their guns, right? We've seen this in the past with some other content creators that just like, nope, this is happening, this is happening. They'll hold on to it for over a year, and it's like, it's not gonna happen. But when Bitcoin does hit 300K, you can then go back and say, hey, since 2021, I told you guys,
Yeah, I just got the
300K was
year
coming,
wrong, man.
baby.
It
I
was
was
10
just
years
ahead of
later.
my time. I was just ahead of my time, guys.
That's it, man.
So it's
That's it.
only it's inevitable. It's only a matter of time. You can only get the time frame wrong, just never the targets. Not when it comes to Bitcoin. So, right, Bitcoin's been chopping up left and right, and people are wondering altcoins. We all know when Bitcoin doesn't pump, right, altcoins sometimes have a bit of a rally here. They sometimes have a room to run, but if Bitcoin dumps, then obviously the altcoins are going to bleed as well. Is there any altcoin besides Ethereum? I know we're going to circle back and hit Ethereum here because a lot of people want to know what's happening with Ethereum, right? Me personally as well. Is there
Mhm.
any altcoin that you're looking at right now that you're like, man, this has got some potential if Bitcoin, goes sideways and we get a little bit of a rally, we get some upside potential here, or just, in general, hey man, altcoins are not looking so good, and definitely watch out for this one.
Yeah, it's tough right now, right? Because if Bitcoin does get that pullback, granted, like I said, we were just covering how Bitcoin is at support at the moment, right? When
Yep.
looking at that March range. I've also got the Ethereum chart pulled up here. I don't know if you want to share real quick, but a similar thing. So like daily time frame, big picture at the moment is that ETH also basically just sitting right at the range low for March. So for me, I'm actually looking at, once again, obviously if it starts to break lower, and I know we have certain areas below us to be aware of, and same thing, right? Being in the market every single day, you just got to adapt to it as it comes. But I am looking to see if we hold this region at the moment for a decent little run up here out of ETH and potentially back to this like $3,800 area. And if that takes place, I was assuming that Bitcoin's probably running with it alongside, 8 to 10%. Maybe we run back to that all-time high, previous all-time high. Maybe we go back to 70K. Who knows? But that would bode pretty well for the altcoins, at least short term, right? Maybe we get a couple weeks here, if in the same turn. As far as like a certain altcoin, I mean, I got a bunch that I've been looking at. One is kind of this newer project. It's on Coinbase, but it's like a new game, right? So it's like one of those things where like the game itself is like really not that great. But it does have a nice little setup here potentially, and just to throw on something, I guess,
Okay,
fun
chart
here for
setup.
you.
I'm still seeing just the ETH chart.
Yeah, I'm looking for it real quick. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Pull that
It's
off.
this one right here, big time.
Big
Uh,
time. Oh, I
yeah,
know about that. That's a crypto gaming one. A lot of people talking about crypto gaming. Is
yeah.
it gonna pop off or is it gonna dump?
It's tough to say, man. I mean, it's got a little, potential here. We did come down. We kind of swept the lows here for February, all the way back. So basically February and March, obviously. So anybody that was, kind of buying into those areas were below where they got in at. But yeah, I'm looking to see if we get back up into this range, so like 33 cents. Obviously, you do your own due diligence, of course, but this is just something I'm tracking. This project could very well just go to zero at some point. But yeah, looking to see if we get back into like that 33 cents, and then overall run it back 50, and then maybe even back to that all-time high. Or yeah, I think that's the all-time high at this point. It's really new, like I said, so it's a higher risk, new coin. um, just something I did kind of highlight and notice earlier today. Aside from that, I mean, obviously, if Bitcoin and ETH just get that push, everything's going to recover nicely for a few days, if not a week or two.
Let's pump it. Let's pump it. Before we hit Bitcoin again, did want to ask, somebody was asking in the chat about ASI. We recently talked about ASI when I was out there in the office with you about ASI is the merger between Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol, and what's the other one? Singularity Net.
Oh yeah. I remember all that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're still voting. I think between now and the 6th, they have to vote to see if it even happens, right? How do you feel about that? I'm gonna give you my thoughts here. I
So
personally, I
so
put a video
so
saying
I'm
that it's
I'm
probably
I'm
not great.
I'm honestly not too familiar with this. So like, yeah, what is the deal about it? So like, it is good. They're going to merge and they have to vote on it.
Yeah, so they're voting right now. Basically,
Who
Fetch
who,
AI is
who
gonna be
votes
like
for
the
it? Like
main.
the CEOs of the company or something? Or
I don't know the full details on how the company wise is gonna work, but I'm assuming they're all merging together, right? All other companies are merging together because they're all gonna come under one token, ASI token. So it's mainly by Fetch AI. So Fetch AI is gonna be the foundation, and it's pretty much absorbing Singularity Net and Ocean Protocol into it. So whoever holds Fetch AI, they're going to get a 1-to-1 ratio. And I believe if you hold Ocean or you hold AGIX Singularity Net, you will get a different ratio. I don't know what the ratio is. My
hmm,
deal with this is that they want to combine these projects. First of all, that doesn't feel like very decentralized AI to me. If you're literally collaborating and bringing three AI projects together under one roof, it's going to probably be more centralized AI. So that's my one concern, not my biggest, but that's my one concern there. Second concern is they're going to instantly launch at a higher market cap of $7.5 billion market cap, right? I believe with that being done, the price token, the price of the token being launched could put you in almost instant profit, right? When you're creating a market cap and you're practically almost like in a pre-sale, right? You're holding this token before this other one launches, and then you're getting airdropped this new one, and the other one's going away. You could be put instantly into profit. And if you see any of the meme coins or any of these coins that you do pre-sales on, majority of them have a dump at the very beginning. Not saying that long term it won't survive, that long term it ain't gonna do good, but in the short term, in the very beginning, you could see a hard dump because people will instantly take profits when that thing launches because they know there's gonna be a bunch of other people sitting on the sidelines that didn't get in, and they're gonna want to be buying, right? And they're gonna be used as exit liquidity. So I've seen a lot of that happen in pre-sales. Obviously, there's some pre-sales that are different and they actually take off. Axon Dow, AXGT is one of those examples that the pre-sale came in and it just skyrocketed since the pre-sale, right? They did a very good job at finding a very small market cap or a very fair market cap for what the project is doing, and it was just able to go into price discovery. But if we enter with a very high market cap, people might think, hey, this is overvalued, and people are just going to dump it, take the profits right off the back, wait for the dump. And I've already seen comments, I'm going to sell the minute it comes out, wait for
hmm.
the dump, and then buy back in and jump back up. So I think that's a possibility. That is my biggest concern with the ASI merger and the centralization of the AI projects.
Yeah.
Is it going to happen or not? We don't know. Yeah. Any thoughts? Any input?
I mean, I was gonna say like how many people are like talking about that idea because obviously if the idea is that everybody's gonna just double their money and dump it right off the rip, I'm just curious if it just comes out. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go. It's like the first time this has ever happened.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. So with the amount that fetch is up, right? Just in general, I know that
you
Ocean's
have a
kind of
fetch.
had a
You
little
have a
bit of a
fetch
move.
chart, by any
What's
chance?
that?
You have a chart for fetch.
Sure, I could pull one up. But yeah, the amount that's up, I mean, it's like it wouldn't be too crazy to see that really, I guess, take a hit. But yeah, I don't know how that's going to work with everything else in there. I feel like I already have a fetch chart somewhere.
Ethereum Classic.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Hold on.
for Ethereum Classic, that was another one I was kind of pointing on. Like this has just kind of been in this back in the day, the old Adam and Eve double bottom goldfish pattern type of deal. But yeah, looking to see if we run this back up to the high of the range at like $44, and then if this flips, that we got a nice little target up at like 73. That was my other. I was gonna bring that
Before
up
we
at some
continue
point.
with fetch, did you see that post I made about how Litecoin started pumping and
Yes.
Bitcoin was dumping, dude? Very interesting stuff happening there.
So did you see? I meant to ask you what your opinion is on this because we can look at Litecoin as well. Because I do think the Litecoin's got a big move coming, as similar like Bitcoin Cash
Come on,
and all
baby. I've
that
been
good
holding
stuff.
that thing since 2017. Come on.
Same
New
dude,
all-time highs.
unwillingly. But yeah, I mean, for fetch, I mean,
Unwillingly.
this was the last thing I had here, man. We just kind of broke into this region, you broke out, back tested, and then it was just sky's the limit, man. So, but looking at this, just from this year, let's just see where we were: December, January, give or take. I guess the low right here for the year, it was up like 600% from February, like 10x. I'm sorry, 21x from like the summer of last year. So this one probably could take a haircut. But I just think about like how I don't know how that's all going to incorporate. I also don't know like are these are these charts going to just disappear and are they just going to relist the one? Like it's a weird concept,
I'm not
man.
100% sure on what they're gonna do. For what I'm understanding is they're supposed to all go away and like just become this new token.
Yeah, I mean, that probably is what it's going to be. I mean, we've seen other like I'm just trying to think of like when Polygon or anything like kind of has rebranded to a new chart. I guess like they just kind of reuse the same one, they just rename it. But yeah, it's very interesting. Like GE for like the stock market, they just did this similar thing where it's not necessarily as similar as this, but it kind of just like split off and like the price completely changed and they removed a sector and did all this stuff and they totally adjusted the whole the price action, which was an interesting thing to see. I just was going to pull up the Litecoin chart, and then I was going to get your opinion on that
Hit me with it.
the Lightning Network. I know that it's not necessarily so much focused on Litecoin, but like partnering up with Coinbase. I don't know if you saw that too today. If you know any more than I do on that, but I know that that's kind of us. Just obviously using the Lightning. What is that one? There's a company out there that's going to basically be, utilizing the Lightning Network to produce, cheaper fees and things like that, and quicker transactions for Bitcoin. But I was wondering if that had anything to do with the Litecoin
So,
itself. If you knew anything,
from my understanding, Litecoin is not really on the Lightning Network right
right?
now. But what we have seen is ordinals, right? Before silver, Litecoin was the silver to Bitcoin's gold. Everything was tested on Litecoin first, and then implemented later onto Bitcoin. After 2017, that relationship was broken. The main developers and leaders of Litecoin kind of left the project, and we've only seen one real big upgrade to Litecoin since then, which was the Mimblewimble, which added privacy to Litecoin. So now, come this bear market, we saw ordinals get created. Ordinals and inscriptions get created for the first time ever, putting NFTs and tokens of being able to be created on Bitcoin because of the Taproot upgrade that happened back in 2021. So now that has happened, we have seen, and I have seen it, that technology has dripped down into Litecoin. So now Litecoin also has ordinals and inscriptions. They're called light ordinals or something like that. And I think there's called like LRC20 tokens or something like that, somewhere on those lines. So it's the opposite inversion now. Things are being built on Bitcoin first, and then Litecoin's getting it after. Even Dogecoin's got inscriptions and they're called Docknos on those coins. So the
Oh,
technology is dripping
Domino's. That's
down, right?
awesome.
The technology is dripping down, and as more stuff gets built on Bitcoin, we could see some congestions happening with DeFi and all these BRC20s being created on Bitcoin. And I think this was where Litecoin could come in again in the future as Bitcoin becomes more and more institutionalized, and institutions want to use something maybe a little bit faster, maybe a little bit quicker, but with the same exact tech as Bitcoin, they could start maybe shifting over to Litecoin, and maybe Litecoin, high speculation here, maybe Litecoin gets put into the ETF at some point, and they start using Litecoin for that same aspect of a gold and silver ratio, with Litecoin using the same, getting that drip down technology from Bitcoin. Very high speculation. Not saying that a Litecoin ETF is on the works by any chance. All that I
Mhm.
know of is for Ethereum, but the fact that things are dripping down, we could see more of this technology actually become utility for Litecoin in the future. That's my thought. That's what makes me think that Litecoin could be a sleeper.
Interesting. It is interesting to note that like Litecoin's just been like that silent like top 5 coin. And it's always what's listed on, when you see the cryptos pop up. I think it usually just shows Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin on news networks and things like that. But not many people really like touch on it as much. So it's also been pretty boring. I mean, very similar to an XRP.
Oh yeah.
XRP gets so much hate and heat because of the community behind it. But there's many projects that are the same, if not somewhat worse than the price action. As far as that would go, especially for something that was been around for years and years at this point. But yeah, no, I been looking for a pretty decent breakout on Litecoin. I don't think we're getting it quite yet, even though it's seen a pretty good increase
What
price
are you
action.
targeting? What are you targeting as a breakout?
Essentially just kind of getting above obviously this region here, which is like 115. We can see we just pretty much just been range bound in this area. I guess you could almost like map this off entirely, and really say that like, I'll just close this off so you can kind of get an idea, right? Got a decent little break at the moment, but you see how it just quickly we keep coming back into it. So, we're getting that, potential back test here. But at this point, I'd really like to just see that 115 area just starting to live in above. And then for me, I'm looking up to the 146 and then 190 at a Litecoin. So we'll see how that goes. So you still have that like, risk of just kind of ranging around in this region. But that's where I'm targeting for the next areas here. And then obviously if we get above that, I'm sure we're in full bull, and we can kind of speculate on the next levels there.
Somebody was saying XRP is the best coin in the chat. Do you have anything in the XRP charts that could tell them maybe it's not the best, or maybe it is the best, and I just don't know.
XRP is really good at. I think we can all agree. Like I said, that the community. I'm trying to think of another community that's so die hard, right?
Brainwashed.
Almost like a cult, like no matter what. And the problem that like most fall into, I think ICP is actually falling into that category nowadays. But at least ICP is getting a move. And I don't have any like, dude, XRP was one of the first things I got into back in the day. I'm in and out of this quite often. I'm actually in a position right now. I've been building around 50 cents. But yeah, this range right here, this was an area. It is an area still just where you just continually are in. Goes all the way back down to like 46 cents. So I mean, ideally, I guess if we come back down to that area, that'd be the next major support area. But otherwise, I'm anticipating a break and a move up to this dollar area right here. It's macro gold pocket, and I know that that's not like a super like $100 target at the moment, but just kind of taking it for what it's worth at the moment. It's from the high to the low. You got a gold pocket retrace right there. There's an untapped high time frame average of price coming in here. A little bit above that is like $1.11. So I'm almost like giving myself a little window here. I'm just looking to flip a position right from that 50 cent like buy-in area. I'll probably take most of it out up here at the dollar area, look to buy back in again, or just move on to something new. XRP is not my like end all be all, like something I'm holding for a ton of years. I do think it'll probably break the all time high, or it has potential. Obviously, this time around, if things really get going. But yeah, as far as that goes from now, it's like I'm just gauging this to that dollar to 11 from here, and then if that changes, obviously we'll take a look at it again. But from now, it's to get a
Dollar
break.
game changer.
I mean, for it really would. I mean, it's 100% impulse from here, so wouldn't be, or 80%, I guess. But and yeah, if we come up to that area, start blowing through it, and start making that support, then obviously we can adjust it. But that's definitely where I'm targeting to flip this current bag. Maybe I look back in 5 years and regret it, but is what it is. I'll move on to something new.
Somebody in the chat, Kevin, wants to see Shiba. You have a chart for Shiba? In the meantime, I'm gonna pull up another question here while you pull up that chart. Somebody
Yeah.
said, "What is the next big moves will be modularity?" So I think modular blockchains will have their time. They're pretty much a subset of the layer two narrative, right? But I think the next hot narrative, and we're seeing it right now, is real world assets. We're seeing a lot of stuff happening with BlackRock and Ando and their build L with the L at the back, fund being funded in the stock market. And we're seeing, I literally just made a post about it earlier today too, in the verified investing, about how China is also tokenizing some major real world assets as well. Everybody's getting into real world asset tokenization, and it's all somewhat happening as well with Ethereum. They're always being mentioned. They're always mentioning Ethereum one way or another, which is what gives me the idea that the Ethereum ETF delay is on purpose. They're delaying the ETF not because it's a security. You just need to blame it on something. It's because they want this narrative to be out there. People can freak out, and it gives these institutions more time to continue building and tokenizing real world assets on Ethereum before the big blast off. So, in general, I think AI is going to do well. I think modular, right? There's different narratives. There's modular, there's layer twos, there's layer ones, there's crypto gaming, metaverses, there's decentralized science, there's AI, if I don't know if I mentioned that already, and there is what's this last one? Real world assets that I was talking about. And then we have different base ecosystems, like different ecosystems for different projects: Solana, Base, Bitcoin, Ethereum, AVAX, and all this stuff. I think real world assets are going to be the next narrative that we see here for the next couple of weeks, maybe months, before we see another shift eventually down the line again. Uh, but any thoughts on that before we jump into the Shiba chart?
No, I agree, man. It's always fun to like note all the evolution of like the things that come across, right? Like years ago, we didn't have it, DeFi, you didn't have NFTs, everything was like there was an ICO craze, the new chains now that everything can run on, like so everything used to just be on Ethereum. So like now moving into like real world tokens and things of that nature, it's just cool. It's just an interesting thing to kind of witness unfold. But
Quick question
yeah.
here as well. Somebody wanted to know: Do you have a chart on Velodrome by any
I
chance?
don't. I could throw one up. I'm sure. I got the
Mhm.
Shiba one pulled up, which is interesting
Let's
because
get
I
let's get
I
Shiba
haven't looked
first.
I haven't looked at this since like I probably made this chart last, which was probably sometime around here, so June of 2023. But we just pretty much were ranging around this area here. You can zoom out almost and see that we had a really big range here. So kind of similar to the XRP chart where when we do get that break, they tend to get really sizable move. This one was really big. Obviously, this is like 300%. But we had a yearly average of price up here that we basically just ran right into. And now we're getting some consolidation. You could almost kind of uh, triangle this off. Maybe look at it like a bull pennant to some degree. Maybe we consolidate and go a little higher for the ideal sort of entries. If you're looking for it, I'd probably look for a pullback. Maybe even back to like this region here. It'd be pretty sizable though. It's like that's like another 30%. So I imagine like probably the market's getting a pullback in total. But this is a hard one to chase at this point, right? So unless you were getting in at these levels here, this is up like 400 at the high there. I get not too terrible. I guess it's like 173% here. If you're just like die hard set on getting into Shiba, I guess you could look for some of these areas here, or look to basically come back above that high, which is a ways away at this point. It's like another 100%. But I'd be looking for a pullback personally. I think that's a really big move up. Could it go higher? Yes, but the risk at this point is that you still could see some more pullback here, and even just like looking at like a local gold pocket, even something like that, I'd probably look for versus just kind of jumping in right this second. That's like another 20% down. You kind of come down, take these lows. So just at a quick glance, but yeah, otherwise, I mean, this was a really big, it's kind of what I'm anticipating to see out of XRP at some point. I just don't know if we're going to see 300% out of it, but if we get that dollar move, it's usually pretty fast and furious when it comes
Pretty
through.
fast and furious.
And then somebody was asking for what was it, Velo?
Yeah, Velodrome, which is basically Aerodrome's direct competitor on Optimism's blockchain.
Is it like new as can be, or has it been around?
It's not super new, but it's not super old. It's
Yeah.
relatively new.
All right. Just looking at you know, OG days with the like I was looking at like how we were viewing that Ethereum Classic, right? You got a little potential goldfish pattern, right, coming in with the Adam and Eve double bottom just right off the
Mhm.
rip. I'd probably go ahead and pull 2020. That's pretty decent. Yeah, let's just see what all of the data looks like, right? Just kind of pull it and see. Interesting.
This one
um,
big bar of volume.
just the big block, yeah. So let's just take a look at what it looks like on a yearly. Go ahead and delete all that stuff there. All right, so
Putting on some horizontals on the chart.
there's not too much. I guess like I would say,
It's hard. These new ones are hard, man, because there's not a lot of data on it. So the TA is a little rough sometimes.
yeah. I mean, for these, it's there's just not too much data. Like you said, there's not a lot of data to go off of in the small time frame. But I would say that living above this region right here, right? So just kind of broke above it. Maybe we get a little pullback to like 0.007. Might launch you up a little bit here, and then from there you can start looking at fib extensions, just kind of locally from the low to that high. Pull it in here.
Quick question. Quick question. I
Yep.
saw you pull up. Is this Velodrome or Velo? Because there's another one that's called the Velo on its own, which is not the same.
Ah,
Right.
gotcha. Okay, this is probably that then. Sorry. Yeah, just this is Velo by itself.
Yeah, because there's let me see here.
Velodrome. I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, Velodrome on Coinbase. I believe is probably the best one.
Oh, dude, that's got no data.
Yeah, it's just up to the right, baby. Up
This is
to
from
the
last month. Yeah,
right.
so at that point, you just got to look at market cap and see what the potentials could be. I mean, obviously, we can start whipping around some pullback areas out of this, but right now you got your point of control. All your volume coming in a little bit below you. I've got the gold pocket comes in basically right at the range high. So if you were looking at something, ideally you look for that pullback into that region, which would be pretty.
Now
Once
we're
again,
cooking. Now we're
another
cooking.
thir- another 30%, give or take, in that aspect. What else we got? You got a little daily level right there. That's pretty much where we're at now. Not much else than that. So I mean, I would say that's what I'd look for as far as like pull back, right? To like 17 cents.
Yep.
If you're getting really crafty, if we're just totally nuking the market down to like 9, and then looking at let's just play.
I wouldn't mind some 17-cent action. I got it at 30 cents. It would definitely be putting me underwater, but I'm willing to dollar cost average this one out.
Yeah, if she just launches from here, you almost got and this is sloppy as can be, but little bull flag action. I don't know why it's looking like that. um, and then you got a 1618 expansion just from this little local trend. So I mean, if we just continue up from here, I'd be looking at like 43, 54, 73. So that's kind of where it'd be looking up. And the one thing I'll kind of compare this to just right off the rip, I don't even know what this is, but like whiff, right? I've been trying to catch a whiff of whiff for a while, and it came out. It had similar situations like this. I think it front ran where I was targeting by like pennies, man. It was very sad. I think it came down to like $1, and I was looking for something. I have it right here actually, so because I always look at it and cry. This one I was looking at 83 cents I wanted, and it came down to like $1, and then it's just not come back ever since, dude. It's just been that's pretty much what you got at this point. Like this is just creating itself at the moment.
Yeah, I think Velodrome, a lot of people are bullish on it, so am I, for the simple fact that we saw how Aerodrome performed, and Aerodrome had a very aggressive move to the upside. Obviously, Velodrome is a lot newer. It's basically, I don't know what it is with these coins now, literally direct competing with each other, pretty much same names and everything, same similar logos, but on the Optimism network. and I think that is the optimism, is that it's going to behave like Arrow and
Yeah.
just freaking just skyrocket, because Aerodrome, if I quickly look at my screen here, let me share my screen. Just bam, share this thing. Come on. Here it is. So Arrow,
Dude, that thing's up 60. That was 7 million%. It's up 66 million% now.
dude.
It's already 10x since we originally started the show.
Yeah, I don't talk about a real bubble. Like, I don't know what the heck that thing's doing, dude. Aerodrome is up 219% on the month, and Velodrome is up 157%, sitting at 144 mil market cap right now. What was Aerodrome's market cap? Aerodrome's market cap is 235 mil. And you guys don't know, Aerodrome is on Base Network, which is Coinbase's network, which is also built off of the Optimism stack technology. So that's pretty funny that they didn't actually have Optimism themselves, didn't have something until after Base said, "Hey, we want you to build this for us, or we're going to build it with your tech." I should say.
Nice.
So,
Dude, you should check out that OI and see what the market cap of that is now, because it's got to be like, I mean, I'm assuming like it was what, like 17 billion right off the
dude,
rip.
it's 160.
Dude, it's 10x, 160 billion dollars. Dude, this is
It's ranked number 3 right now.
I was gonna say it's basically Ethereum, man. Like it's on its what?
It's not listed on Coin Market Cap just yet.
Yeah.
Let's see if it's listed on CoinGecko here. Is it listed on CoinGecko? It's not listed on CoinGecko either. I'm surprised that it's actually listed on the crypto bubbles before it's ever even listed on any of these other ones.
That's crazy, man. That looks like, reminds me of like Wi-Fi. You know, the Wi-Fi when it came out, it was like instantly like 50 grand, or you know, like
Look, it's up again, dude. It was 66, now it's 75. It's still going. I have no idea.
It's $4,000 a coin or whatever right now.
Dude, yes, it was 583 when we first started streaming.
Damn, we should have bought some, bro.
I don't even know where to get this thing. Let me see. Let's go to Coin Market Cap. Oh, it is listed on Coin Market Cap. I can find it here. It's just not listed on the ranks.
It's 2 cents now. I thought it was $5,000, unless I was just. Anyways, it's just a random. Yeah, this is a new project for anybody that's watching. But
CoinW, Gate.io. That's about it. It's the only places to get it. And Ref Finance, I have no idea what that is. I guess that's part of their OIN finance. I'm not sure. Yeah, dude, I have no freaking idea. Market cap is 600. Yeah, this thing is moving so damn fast. It doesn't even know. It doesn't even. It just dropped down to 2 cents.
what?
Price went from $4,000 to 2 cents.
Damn, a rug. We just watched the
ultimate
whole
rug, dude.
We just watched the life cycle of a rug on this stream.
Dude, if that's true, bro, that's huge. That's a huge pullback from $4,000 to 2 cents.
Still up though, 200%.
Jeez, dude, what is this thing? This is the thing that makes me nervous, man, about people just being able to create these projects and just make whatever market cap they want. I'm definitely staying away from that.
I just bought it, dude. I'm
I just bought it.
I'm trying to get that. I just got that 90% pullback.
It's going to the moon, baby.
We riding, dude.
Let me see here. Scott, somebody says, yeah, owners cashed out for sure. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it if that's their thing. Can we ask each other our top bags and that's not our ETH or Ethereum? Yeah, look, it just disappeared off Coin Bubble.
Really?
It just disappeared. Look at it. Boom, it's gone now. The bubble literally just shrank. It literally popped. Poof, and it was gone.
Interesting.
It just disappeared.
For the biggest bag question, top of my head, I'm actually in a good amount of positions for me. Usually I'm in like 2 to 3 and I kind of rotate around. Always Ethereum to some degree. Like I said, I did sell a good amount at 32.80 like a month ago. But I still have the 25% of that allocation that, you know, even if the market runs away from me, I'm going to look to hold that. And then the other 75% of my ETH position, I'm waiting for a pullback, like a pretty substantial one. You know, either $2,500 to $2,000 area. If we don't get that, then whatever, I'll dump it into something stable like XRP. And also near protocol is a big one. I picked up a lot between the $1 and $2 range. Rose Finance or Rose Oasis at the moment. I did pick up
What
some
is
of that
that?
big.
What is Rose? Why are so? I've had people ask me about it. I don't know
Honestly,
anything about it.
if I had to tell you what it does or anything about it, I wouldn't know. I just saw it had a really great setup. I saw that it had the AI tagline, and I was just like, whatever, jumping in. So,
So you trade
um,
straight off technicals, absolutely zero. Like doesn't
I
matter
wouldn't
what
say I
the
wouldn't say
project
zero, but
does.
it's just like there's so much. You know, Rose has been around forever, but like I said, I couldn't honestly tell you exactly what it does. I'm sure it's run of the mill.
It's like Jasmine.
Like,
Jasmine's been
but
around forever. People
mhm.
love it. I still don't know what the hell that thing does.
Yeah, you know, it's just like something like that, right? So where it's like for me, it's you know, I use email every day. I don't know how it works, but I use it. Like it's just kind of like one of those things, right? So I couldn't tell you, I couldn't explain to you how you know you and I get communicated through an email, but I'm going to use it. Um, but yeah, so Rose is one. I do have the XRP holding, and then like some of the speculative ones I'm in is ORDS swap, that you know ORDS whatever, and then big time, pretty decent bag of veneer, like I said earlier. Solana I had last year. I went from $12 to the $66, and I got out unfortunately, but is what it is. I you know still doing pretty well over in near. I think I got a couple other plays I'm in the middle of, like Kyber Network I picked up. Um,
You got any charts for ORDS?
Gala Gala Games. Gala Games is
Ooh,
the other.
alligator.
That's one too.
Let's hit that one. Let's hit that one.
Gala Games.
Yeah, let's hit Gala and ODS.
All right. Ordi, I mean, is just so new. Once like that's just one of those like, if anybody ever asked me about it, I'm just like, it's gonna go higher. But like I got like almost no analysis there, right? Because it's so new. It's like also like something that just kind of
It is hard.
hit the streets.
Hard to chart.
Gala.
Yes.
Gala.
Let's get it. Come on, Gala. People want to know about crypto gaming. We're about to find out if Gala can make a comeback here.
So Gala's kind of in the middle of a pretty good break, right? So same scenario as like I kind of always refer to it like a chain link theta. You can almost compare this to what we just saw on the Shiba chart, but just a simple huge range break. We had this major quarterly level. So honestly, I didn't even scale in heavily down in these areas. I did pick up a decent amount, but I went the heaviest at about 4 cents once we got above that region and kind of held it. So and immediately it like pretty much went up 100% from there. I did take some profits out, so in case it does come back on me, I can re-add to it, whatever. Otherwise, I'm looking for like 12 cents, 16 cents, ultimately like back to some of these higher levels here too, which is like 33 cents. And that still doesn't even bring it back up to all-time high, which would make this just about a 10x from where I entered at, right? So I'll still be looking to kind of pick this up. If we get a good pullback, this is definitely one for me that, maybe it doesn't 100x or anything, but potential 10x over time. But stair stepping it, like I said, 12 cents, 16 cents, there's some things in the way. But yeah, Gala's got a good look to it at the moment. Basically, just kind of breaking out and flipping into support. ORDS, like I said, I mean, I don't even think I have a chart ready. We do. Let's just see.
Yeah, it's hard to chart that one. So little bit of data on it.
It's kind of similar to like the other one we were looking at earlier.
Velo.
The Velo, yeah, the Velo drum. So you got to once again, it's honestly almost pointless. But for me, if I had to put some stink bids on this puppy, like I'd be looking back to like 8 cents, 6 cents, right? I'd be
Ooh.
picking up some more. But otherwise, 39 cents is probably that next little leg up. And then, like I said, from here, I mean, this has been out for like a month or two as well. Really nothing aside from just like starting to pull fib extensions, but it's like a small market cap. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But yeah, micro cap at this point, or I think it's just small cap, but either way, high risk, right? But that's one of my higher risk plays I'm kind of playing around with personally.
Do you have anything? I agree, dude. I would be scooping up some more ORDS down at 8 or 9 cents. That's where I got in initially. So
Avalanche was another one, just by the way. That was
go ahead.
so yeah. So been kind of breaking out of this region here, paying attention here to see if we get a little pullback. Even if we come back to like the $40 area, not a big deal. But ultimately, I'm targeting up to like this $98 area, which is like another, once again, like 100 for a large cap. I would have to imagine the whole market is doing extremely well at this point, right? Either we're getting, an altcoin season where Bitcoin's just chilling, or the whole market's kind of ripping to the upside. But that is where I, over time, like next couple weeks, months, potentially getting in it. If anybody's trying to get in, you might get some more pullback levels, but ultimately I'm targeting up to like basically back to $100, which still is not all time high even for Avalanche. And similar like little structure as like Gala, right? So you have this huge range, got the breakout, the back test. If you had to like layer this over Gala games, I would say you're in a similar position like this. Does that have to play out like that? No, but I'm just kind of giving an example, right? So, but yeah, for Avalanche, that's a big move, 100% potential.
What was I just asking? I was literally just going to ask you about a different one. What the heck was it? Oh yeah, let's hit. This is also kind of a new one, but I want to know Axon DAO. What's going on with that one? AXGT is the ticker, and then maybe we can hit ICP before potentially closing out here.
AXGT is like not even listed anywhere. It's still on like Uniswap.
Uniswap only. It's only been out since February 13th.
Oh, I actually have a chart for this for some reason. It's pretty much just similar to, I don't know what I was looking at this for. Maybe because you brought it up. I don't even know that. Yeah, but yeah, just pretty much just kind of living in this little region here. So let me pull this. Honestly, you can't really take this really too much to the bank because it's just not much here. But if we just got a mega nuke, which I don't necessarily think we're going to get, but if you did like this little, I can't even 50 zeros 21. That'd be a little area to kind of look for. But otherwise, with these ones here, they tend to just kind of move up, consolidate, and then continue, right? Like, so it's kind of like that whiff one, right? I was trying to catch that on some technicals, and it just keeps going. So for this,
I hope you're right. I hope nothing does just keep going. Come on, baby, Axon DAO, pump for me, baby, pump for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the next major areas here probably be like
that's well over $1 because that wick right where you're looking at, right where that line is, that wick was like 96 cents.
96 cents? Are we? Oh, because it's against ETH. Yeah.
Yeah, that's against ETH right there.
That's why. Okay. I was like, man, am I looking at the wrong one? But yeah, so it's a tough one. That's just a little bit of a toss up, man. I don't even think you could really like apply too much technicals to that at the moment. And then ICP, you said?
Yeah, ICP, not to be confused with ICUP.
Sometimes I get confused, bro. This one's a really simple one. Last year, big range, right? This was actually the yearly average of price for the 2023, basically. So this was the yearly target, came up and tagged it like right on December 31st of last year, which was interesting. Kind of ranged around this region, just broke into this new range. Ultimately, the ideal situation is come back and back test this a little bit back at like 15. But 2028 is the next major target I'm looking at for ICP. And if we flip that, obviously we can start looking probably up to some other things. And this is one that similar to that one we were just looking at, right? ION. I don't know if this is true. Did this list at 3,000? No. I think it listed like 500.
No, like 400 or something.
Yeah, yeah. So, well, on Binance is clocking 5K, but yeah, 28 next major area that I'd be looking at, especially while we're living in this range here. So
let's go, bro. I'm looking for some similar levels too, for different reasons, but
love it, man. Similar levels. Influence.
That's right.
There's no one way to look at a chart or a trade, man. That's what makes it so beautiful. Even if you're using the same strategy, man, it's like there's just everybody has just different tools and ways to look at it, or just experience from something where it's like every time I'm looking for this setup, it goes against me or whatever. So it's cool, man. It's unique.
Yeah, dude, 100%. I just want to quickly plug your service here real quick one more time, and we're gonna. Do you have anything for Ondo in the meantime? Maybe pull up a chart.
I'll take a look real quick. Ondo. That's a new one for you, huh? I'm sure it's a similar situation where it's not got too much.
Probably. But guys, Verified Investing, this is where you're going to find his course, not just the course where you're going to learn how to trade, but also the service where he's going to be posting up chart analysis every single day, 5 to 6 charts easy every single day. It's $100 a month, which breaks it down to $3 a day. And you're getting at least 6 charts posted, which is 50 cents a chart, guys. 50 cents a chart here. trade signal alerts,
The
day
king
trade
shill.
trades, dude. Like everything you need, right, to learn how to trade the way Paul does with his trading strategy using volume, and as well as getting analysis and confluence on the trades that he's taking a look at. So do yourself a favor, invest in yourself, join the group. The link is, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description down below. It takes you to my link tree. Hit verified investing. It'll take you right over here to this web page where you can sign up. And if you're on TikTok, same thing. Go to my bio, hit the link tree. It's gonna open it up. Hit verified investing, and boom, you're gonna take you right over here. Invest in yourself and join this group to get not just the analysis and the education, but the community, to be able to look at these different alerts, look at these different trades, and potentially change your life.
Yeah, and and Miguel posts fundamental analysis in there for us as well. So what I like about the
That was a
verified
secret.
and
That was a secret. I didn't
what I love
know.
about the verified investing, deal that we just kind of started up is it's like unlike a Discord app, right, where you have probably 30 Discords and you're buried in all these alerts and everything like that. We have our own app, so you just get everything straight. There's it's a simple analysis, it's simple updates. There's mid to long term plays. I do the day trade setups as they come in, so it's pretty unique. I really like the app aspect of it alone, where it's just like its own app, so you just kind of go there just for that, and then you can go back to the 1,000 discords that you might
Oh,
be a
that is
part of.
true. I always forget to mention that this thing is not just a website; it's also an app on your phone, which is super slick, super. It takes you out of the craziness world of a million different discords. I can't even go through my discords anymore because I have 1,000 of them open. So I do like the fact that it has its own app both on Google and on iPhone. So guys, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, it's
Verified
pretty
investing,
slick.
but obviously you can sign up through the website and then download the app later.
So for Ondo, by the way, yeah, same deal, man. This is like at least what I'm looking at. I can think Bybit, Binance. Yeah, it looks like it just came out in January, which I'm sure I know it did to some degree. So pretty much just an up to the right type of thing, like kind of like those other ones at the moment. So just kind of getting pushes up, consolidation. Let me just see. I'm just looking to see where this kind of dropped down to. Kind of front ran it here, but like I said, like the one thing you can do is kind of look for some pullback areas to try to get a little bit of an edge on where you can maybe get in on. But this is something that's like up 350, been up 500%. Could it continue up? Yeah, because I'm sure the market cap's probably pretty low. But it's kind of one of those things too, where like if Bitcoin does get a little bit of more of a pullback, to that 55K area or that 52, this is all these like smaller new projects will get crushed, and that's like for me, those are the days when I go heavy on like just scooping things up, right? Even if it's not the low, you get these like pullbacks right here, which is like what 20, 30, 40%. And then they just continue onward and upward. So yeah, it's a little tough to do any kind of analysis on, but yeah, so far it's 20 cents. It's been at $1. I would say let's just throw some volume on her. Yeah, I mean, not really helpful, honestly, but yeah, something
It's just too new, man.
I'll
It's
be
just
keeping
too
an
new.
eye on it as it's going. But yeah, it's not too much to write home about at the moment as far as trying to break it down.
You could probably draw a nice little trend line there. I can see from the bottom here that red candle down and around. Yeah, right, a little bit more to the right. Yeah, there you go. Bang. Right, nice little trend line action.
I guess so. Yeah, there you go.
Something like that.
There you are. Keeping it simple. I like it.
That's right. That's right. Well, man, I appreciate you joining in here, dude. I'm not gonna keep you anymore. I got a bunch of other people in the chat asking about other charts, but it's already 6 o'clock. We got to eat dinner. I know you've been in the office every single day, all day grinding today. So I know you want to go out there get some dinner, hit the hay, relax, and we'll do this again tomorrow or some other day for sure.
Yeah,
We'll
man,
get a
absolutely.
plan to do this. So,
Sounds good,
guys,
brother.
CVO, the man, the myth, the legend, Paul Sampson. If you're not following him on Twitter, if you're not following him on YouTube, TikTok, if you're not following him and subscribing to his service on verified investing, I don't know what you're doing, guys. I don't know what you're doing, but invest in yourself. Follow the best in the game. CVO, dude, I appreciate you taking time out of your day so late in the day because 5 to 6 is not an easy stream since you've been in the office all day as well. So I appreciate
Love
you
it,
taking
man.
time
Love it,
to,
dude. Yeah, thanks for having me, brother. It's always a pleasure.
dude. 100%. Like always, I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day. So until next time, guys, see ya.